That's the ones. Like if you think about electronic music as a whole being taken into a non-experimental platform, you know, you have Stockhausen and you had early artists like Morton Sabatnik, but then Kraftwerk were the ones who took the experimental aspect and brought it to a club element. And they were really the first ones to cross over, you know, into hip hop, into the mainstream, and timelessly. I saw an amazing video of, you know, break dancers dancing to a Kraftwerk sample, and it had already been 20 years after the first time Kraftwerk performed. You know, it's true pioneers. I think anyone who's involved in electronic music deserves credit to Kraftwerk, definitely. It kind of fell into my lap, or maybe I fell into Berlin's lap. It wasn't planned for me to stay here. I was becoming a little bit too comfortable in New York City. I wanted a challenge. I wanted something new. I felt creatively safe, and I moved to London, and that just I didn't like it. It didn't work for me. Amazing city, but for me, it didn't give me the challenge I was looking for. And I came to visit some friends in Berlin, and I really was challenged, and I was really inspired, and I fell into this world that I didn't know I belonged to, which was this sort of EBM, new beat, darker Italo, weird disco world that I always loved, but I never felt confident enough to produce or DJ this stuff. It's interesting because right before the pandemic hit, there was some trouble with the nightlife in Berlin. A lot of the legendary clubs were closing, you know, like Griesmühle, for example. And this was causing a lot of concern within the nightlife. But at the same time, it gave opportunity for the underground to thrive, and more loft parties and warehouse parties and kind of alternative venues had this platform now, an opportunity to get people involved and excited. So in a way, it's an exciting time. I think this situation is opening doors for the underground, more intimate, smaller scenes to thrive and get attention and recognition again. You know, we were economically disproportionate when it came to DJ fees, when it came to the sort of mentality that we were approaching when it came to big events and festivals. You know, artists were being paid way too much, I think. This is definitely a reality that we had to come to terms with. And we kind of have to start from the ground up again. And this is where the agents have to come into play and work together with the artists and work with the smaller venues to help build these scenes back up to the place where we can do festivals and bigger events again. It's an exciting time where, you know, these mainstream festivals and capitalist approaches are kind of going to struggle. They're going to struggle again, and it's going to be more about music mattering. Music really matters at the end of the day. You know, Ombra International is a label that I created to bring together different artists from all over the world who shared this love of mixing post-punk and new wave and, you know, the darker 80s sounds in a contemporary platform. And so this compilation really tells a story that seems relevant to our certain situation now, the pandemic. It wasn't intentional at all. So it's kind of haunting to me and a little bit scary, but also at the same time shows that everyone all over the world, whether it be Mexico or Germany or Italy or Spain or France, Belgium, you know, wherever, we're all working together musically, and that's the bond. Music is the bond here. Now I'm diving back into that, and you can see that a lot with the last compilation for Ombra. I did all of the visuals and all the video work, and so now I'm working on a new platform, which I don't want to speak too much about so that nobody steals my ideas. But a first preview will take place with my live stream for KC Grad. It's so difficult, you know, it's hard to stay focused on the positive aspects, because of course we have to also embrace and face the fact that there's such a dark side, predominantly a dark side to this whole pandemic. You know, so many deaths, so many people who are out of jobs and out of work, and for those that are fortunate enough to be healthy and those that are fortunate enough to still be economically stable right now, I think, yes, socially, people are caring more, people are reaching out more, staying in touch more. I find myself speaking on Zoom and FaceTime and keeping in touch with a lot of friends that live all over the world that I didn't do so face to face. You know, I find this interesting. Or even bringing friends together that never met before and doing fun games and silly things over Zoom. And this is interesting. I think people, they're caring more, definitely.